We did ask the community, and Adam and I are both going to answer as well. If you could only have one piece of cardio machine for your home gym, what are you getting? So if somebody asks, what's the first piece of cardio machine? Um, this is likely their answer. And so, like I said, we asked the community. We on an Instagram post, we had over a few hundred comments. I did manually count those out and put them into groups. That was fun. Um, not complaining. And the results were actually pretty awesome, I thought. Because like one thing with the Instagram stories is you only have the ability to ask about 4 things. So this is really the only way to do it if you want to do it on Instagram. So what were the answers? Like I said, pretty spread out. The number one response, and I don't think this will surprise anybody, but it was the rower with 22% of the votes. In second place, just behind the rower, was the stair climber with 21% of the votes. The air bike in third with 19, treadmill 13%, upright bike slash bike erg was at 12%, 7% for the ski erg, and then about 6% for the sled. So a few things to just keep in mind, like the rower at 22% isn't like, still makes up a pretty small proportion, and the overall responses were pretty spread out. Number two, I think I was pretty surprised at like the stair climber. There was a ton of people who mentioned that they really want the stepper in the comments. Air bike was a good mix between echo bike and assault bikes. Yeah, so pretty cool responses. And I think this just kind of shows you that everyone has their own opinions, and it really just depends on how you work out for which one you're going to choose. But Adam, before we get into ours, did anything here surprise you?
I wouldn't say surprise me, but I would say that like I found it interesting how the stair climber was at 21%, and that does kind of coincide with the stepper, like kind of making its way into social media and on people's feeds. So I
Yeah.
think that really did have something to do with their choice. And maybe they weren't thinking stepper, maybe they're thinking stair climber, but it did happen to coincide with that kind of coming out.
Right. All right. Adam, what are you going with?
My choice may be a boring one, but it's going to be a motorized treadmill. I have some quick reasons. One is you can jump on it and do a quick, fast run, maybe some sprint intervals, something like that. But the big reason for me is you can do long, slow runs. The way I like to train, I like to do endurance events, so long distances, and so long, slow runs are going to be really important for me. Why not run outside? That's what a lot of people say. You don't need a treadmill. I agree, but with my current situation, my wife works nights and I have young kids. And so you can't just leave the house consistently with the kids in bed. I might get cops called on me or CPS or something. And so it's been really beneficial for me to train how I like to, and at like the convenience of the home gym. So
Yeah,
treadmill.
makes sense. And then and this is a response that like honestly hasn't changed for me over the last like 5-7 years. I would go with an air bike, more specifically the Rogue Echo bike. So I love having the ability, like I don't think there's anything that you can quite like just get after it and wear yourself out as quickly as an Echo bike. So just the fact that you can kill yourself in 10 minutes, whether that is all at the end of a workout or if you have 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes before your kids get home and you just need to get it out of your system or something like that. Or if you had a long day before dinner to knock something like that out. So I have found that the Echo bike is the best way to do that. I like the ability to just easily move it around the gym, or you can take it outside, do a workout outside. Another thing that I don't think many people have ever really mentioned is you can wear any shoes and combine them with lifting weights. So if you're, um, whereas like if you wanted to do a squat workout and run with running shoes, it may not be quite as comfortable as doing it with the Echo Bike, or like even deadlift. Like you don't really want to deadlift with your running shoes either. So the ability to do that with an Echo Bike, and not have to like change your shoes has been something that I don't take for granted. It's also much cheaper than most treadmills or stair climbers, less than $1,000. So like I think the overall value, and then the fact that it will, the overall value or the price combined with the fact that it will last forever means that the overall value is really high. And then one more thing that I've thought about is there have been times where if I'm working out in the early morning, it's really tough to get going. But if you just go and hop on that bike for like 5 minutes, you're loose and you're going. So I think those are the reason those are the reasons I would choose the Echo Bike if I could only have one. But I like having multiple
Oh, for sure.
for sure. But this would be the first one I would buy.
I like it.